Welcome to today's lesson on evaluating expressions using variables. Today we're going to be discussing what a variable is and how you can evaluate an expression using that variable. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's begin today by discussing what a variable is. A variable is a letter that is used to replace a number. For example, 5 plus a equals 7. In this equation, we are replacing a number with the variable a. A is a letter that's representing a specific number. Do you know what a could represent? A is equal to a certain value. 5 plus a equals 7. So what do we have to add to 5 to get a value of 7? Well, 5 plus 2 equals 7. So that means that a has a value of 2. Let's look at another example together. This time we're going to look at a longer expression. Now, as you can see, we have two variables in each set of parentheses represented by the letter b. Now, each of these variables represents the same value because they both are using the same letter b. So I'm going to tell you that b has a value of 4. Do you think you can now evaluate this expression with that information? Let's go through it together. To start, we need to replace our variable b with the number 4 using the information given. So I'm going to cross out my b and replace it with the number 4. Now I need to make sure that I do this in both sets of parentheses. Even though they're in different sets of parentheses, since the letter or the variable is still the same, that means it still represents the same value, which is 4. So now we can go through and we can solve this expression. 3 times 4 equals 12, plus 2 times 4, which equals 8. 12 plus 8 equals 20. So using the information provided with the variable, we were able to evaluate this expression. Let's go through a practice problem together. 8 plus 7 times c equals blank. Now remember, when you have a variable that's right next to a number, it means multiplication. So what does c represent? The variable c has a value of 5. So I'm going to replace c with the number 5. But notice that I'm putting the 5 in parentheses. This is because we need to remember that we're multiplying 7 times c. And if I just put a 5 there, it would look like 75. It would not look like we were multiplying 7 times 5. All right, let's start with order of operations to solve this expression. We have parentheses, so we need to multiply 7 times 5 first. 7 times 5 equals 35. Now I'm going to rewrite the rest of the expression so that we can stay organized. 8 plus 35 has a value of 43. So now, using the variable c equals 5, we were able to evaluate this expression to find out that 8 plus 7 times c is equal to 43. Let's try another practice problem together. This time, the variable a is going to be represented using the number 3. So that means I need to take my a and replace it with the number 3. Now once again, since we're multiplying 5 times a, that means that we need to remember to multiply 5 times 3. So I put 3 in a set of parentheses so that we will remember to multiply. Let's go ahead and start with our order of operations. First, we start with parentheses. Well, our entire expression is within parentheses, so then we're going to move on to our next set of parentheses to multiply these two numbers together. 5 times 3 equals 15, minus 4. 15 minus 4 equals 11. So 5 times a minus 4 has a value of 11 when a is equal to 3. Let's try a word problem together. Alex is working the prize booth at the school fair. He knows that each student will receive 3 coins to use at the fair. He decided to write an expression using the variable a to represent how many coins he would need to give to each class. If Mr. Michael's class has 24 students, how many coins will Alex need to hand out? Well, Alex wrote the expression 3 times a is equal to, and then that's how many coins he will need to hand out. So we know that each student receives 3 coins, and a represents the number of students in each class. So if Mr. Michael's class has 24 students, then we need to multiply 3 times a, and a is equal to 24. So 3 times 24. 3 times 24 is 72. So that means that Alex needs to hand out 72 coins to Mr. Michael's class. Let's go ahead and take this one step further. Let's say that Miss Emery's class comes in next, and her class has 20 students. So that means that A equals 20. Can you use this expression to find out how many coins Alex will need to hand out to Miss Emery's class? Well, if we know that A is equal to 20, then we need to write 3 times 20. 3 times 20 equals 60. So that means that Alex will need to hand out 60 coins to Miss Emery's class. Let's take a moment to review what you've learned in today's lesson. A variable is a letter that is used to replace a number. When you're trying to solve the variable, you need to know what its value is so you can replace it in your expression. In this case, b will have a value of 5. So we need to replace b with the number 5. Then you can go through and solve your expression. 12 plus 5 equals 17, and 17 minus 3 equals 14. So 12 plus b minus 3 is equal to 14 when b has a value of 5.